I haven't made a video in about 7 years. The first one that I did was about Aerodynamic by Daft Punk. It seemed to generate some interest. This time around I'm going to try to say a lot less, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to escape it completely. The first thing that I should mention is that this is a video kind of in a release alongside a GoFundMe that I'm also trying to plug a little bit. Feel a little funny about asking for money, but this is for a good cause. I'm trying to go back to school for one last semester. I'm teaching right now. I'd like to teach more, and as you can see by this video, it's something that I'd like to try to share, spread the wealth, spread the education and the knowledge about cool chords. This song by Todd Terje, as you can see, we have the Norwegian flag set up for this occasion, has been particularly cool. I've really enjoyed playing it, and we're just going to kind of jump right in. Todd Terje, I hope I pronounced this correctly. He's a Norwegian DJ. This track is sort of a house tune, but the song is Strandbar. I hope I said that right. I think it means beach bar. Okay, so a quick demonstration, an abbreviated little version of guitar Strandbar. Here we go. Now let's talk about
how to play
right out of the gate. The first thing you should know, I tend to play classical guitar lately. That means if you look really close, I got these really long nails. You don't need that necessarily. And also you can strum this riff, or let's just start with the idea that we're going to use what we call the claw. So that's going to be thumb, scary thumbnail, right? Index, middle, and ring. And the cool thing is we're playing these 4-note chords. So for guitar players, we're in standard tuning. So we're going to grab at them with this claw. So for example, just to kind of start off, you can take the very first chord we're going to learn. There's also going to be a link. You'll probably see it below. And that'll have a lot of these chords written there. But you take the first chord, which is going to be a D minor 7. And what that is, it's going to look like this, okay? So we'll put the guitar a little bit close here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take your middle finger, place it on the 5th fret, 5th string. Okay, then this is the hardest part of the chord. Your index finger comes back and plays the 3rd fret of the 4th string. So it's a minor 3rd. You put your 3rd finger on the 3rd string, 5th fret. So you get this little stack, and then your pinky's going to come down on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. So you're going to play that chord, D minor 7. Now, when you go to the next chord, you're just going to lift up your index finger. You don't have to bring it back or anything. And you're going to bring your middle finger off the 5th string onto the same fret of the 4th string, and you're going to slide your pinky back. And you're going to make this A minor 7 shape, which is 5th string open, 4th string, middle finger, 5th fret, 3rd finger, 5th fret, 3rd string, pinky, 2nd string, 5th fret. Throw those all together, you get an A minor 7. Or a 2 and a 6 chord in the key of C major, okay? So the idea is that you're going to bounce, and I'll bring my hand up so you can make sure that you can see. Kind of that idea. D minor 7, A minor 7 at the end. So you put those together, you play it a little faster, you're gonna get way. Now, the next set that you're going to run into that you probably were waiting for me to drop is going to be the it's a D flat major 7 chord. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's a D flat major 7 chord, and it's going to be played sort of like we play an A chord down here on the lower area, the cowboy chord A. What you're going to do is you're going to bring it up to, let's say, the 4th fret, C sharp or D flat, and instead of playing or our A major form bar chord, we're going to play a major 7 version of that, okay? So that's going to be like this. Index finger, power chord. It's kind of neat. You can reference a lot of these chords based off of a power chord. It's something to look into if you're not familiar with that. So that's going to be your 5th, 4th string, 3rd finger, 6th fret. Middle finger is going to play the 3rd string, 5th fret. Pinky is going to play the 6th fret of the 2nd string. I like to jump back and forth with my string and fret calls. Sorry about that. That's the next chord, okay? Then the cool thing is you're going to drop to what we could call an A flat major chord, really. And that's going to be as simple as dropping your chord down to the 6th string. The bar is simply going to expand. And you're going to play A flat, keep your bar there. 3rd finger, you're going to skip the 5th string. And you're going to play the 4th string, 6th fret with the 3rd finger. Middle finger is going to play the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And the index finger is still barring from the D flat chord. So that's hitting your 5th, which is E flat on the 2nd string. And so what's going to happen is you're going to jump back and forth between those. Okay, so when you go back and forth through those, you're going to get this cool... Then we have the part after that. But before we get there, do you want to meet the dogs? Okay, ready? Let's go.
Bear! Hi! Hi! Wait, you want to come say hi? You want to come into my room? You want to say hi? Yeah?
That's Barry.
Hey, big boy. Yeah. What you doing? You being a dog? Okay. Let's see what's going on with town. It's probably the couch. There he is.
Hey, he's got his blanket. What's up, Towns? You being a dog? Yeah? Barry approves.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to the door. Yeah. You ready? Okay. Okay.
Dogs met. Back to it. D minor 7. A minor 7. Do that 4 times. Then D flat major 7. A flat. 4 times. Then back to the original lick. So we're going to have some of those tabs also posted on the link below. But let's just talk about them in a more snapshot kind of way. The first chord, right? D flat major 7, okay? And before I keep going, one last thing to note is that the big thing that you have, well, there's a couple lines, but again, this is a close approximation of what the keyboard's doing, not an authentic copy. Sort of like the same thing we did with the aerodynamic video, but you have this F. So it kind of holds together all those chords all the way through. It's sort of like common tone harmony, musical term that we reference, kind of. But they're actually sort of related. So at the end, we can kind of talk really briefly about how you could solo over them, maybe. But the chords themselves, right? D flat major 7. Then we go to technically an A flat major 7 with an added 13. And that's going to be played index finger, middle finger on the 5th string, or 4th string, 5th fret, 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, pinky on the 2nd string, 6th fret, okay? It's a little change up. Then you go to G minor 7, kind of difficult bar, but you can do it. That's 1, skip 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, all barred on fret 3, then pinky on the 6th string, 6th fret, and then back to D minor 7. Then here's the cool part. You just slide these 3 fingers up and leave the pinky where it is. All up 1 fret, which is great. That becomes E flat minor 9. And then we go down to F minor 7, where you're playing index finger. Then you have to do this massive bar. It's possible to play, and you can always reduce it if you don't want to play everything here. You could just go like, if you wanted to, that's fine. Don't worry so much about the bass note, but it's kind of fun to try. It's pretty tricky. So you have index finger on 1st fret of the 6th string. Then it's also barring the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Your pinky has to go all the way out to the 4th fret of the 2nd string, and your index finger is still barring, so it plays the 1st fret of the 1st string. So you get, hopefully, and then back to G minor 7, which we played earlier. And then this chord is a little weird to me, but it's close enough. It's a G minor 13 with the C in the bass, or if you just want to think about it, 3rd fret 5th string, 3rd fret 4th string, 3rd fret 3rd string, and pinky or 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And then you kind of just wind up right back at D minor 7. So when you put them all together, it's pretty cool. Now, like I said, this is a close approximation. There is a voice in there while it's going through that's. But the problem is that conflicts on the 2nd string with what we're playing up here. It'd be kind of hard to cram those voices in there too, which are, what is it? Kind of fun to try. Yeah, anyway, we could go on forever about it. So just as a last thing to think about here too, when you're going from these basic chords here, my basic interpretation in a harmonic sense here, how do I solo over it, dude? Quit talking. You say too much. It's gonna be D minor as a 2 chord of C, and then A minor is your 6. So you could just use a C major scale. That would sound fine over that first set. Second set of chords, you could go from your 4 chord to an A flat, being your 1 chord. So suddenly, why not play an A flat major 7 arpeggio over that? Sounds great. Then, this is where it gets interesting. I would consider the bridge to be as follows. D flat major 7 could just be a 1 chord. Then, A flat major 7 could be considered a 4 chord. Then G minor 7 could be considered a 3 chord. And D minor 7 could be considered a 2 chord. So what that means is that when we go to A flat to G minor, we could think that we're in E flat for a moment. And that's going to be useful because you're going to have this sound. And then back to a 2 chord in the key of C. Okay? So if you think about it scale-wise, you have D flat, and then E flat, major would work over these 2 chords, and then D minor 7 again. Then, on the last tail end, this is kind of going to get more of a headache here, you have E flat minor 9, which could be considered a 2 chord in the key of D flat. It's getting confusing. Then you can consider the F minor 7 that it goes to, the 3 chord of E flat, and then when you get to G minor 7, you could consider that a 2 chord, which resolves back to a 2 chord again. So there's a lot of different options here. But one way you could also approach it is to simply sort of arpeggiate these chords. And this is sort of, you know, another approach that many musicians take. So you could kind of do something like... and then... that. That's sort of, you know, the same assembly as. So hopefully this video isn't too long-winded, and I hope that you've kind of benefited from it. And I hope you keep playing guitar, and I hope that everything is going great in your life. Send me a message if you like the video, and I hope that I can end this right, and I hope